Hello! In today's foundation roundup, I have 8 foundations to review and give you my thoughts on. All of these are relatively new foundations that you've been asking me to try. I have different types of foundations, and as I always do in my foundation roundups, I'll show you what they look like on my skin, how they apply, how they wear throughout the day, and what skin types I think would benefit most from each foundation. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. I test out a lot of foundations, concealers, face products here on my channel. I'm in my mid-40s, and as we get older, it just gets harder and harder to find the right products. So let's get into these foundations and see what I think. Now, even though I do keep various skin types in mind when I'm reviewing each foundation and tell you what skin types I think each foundation is best for, you need to know my skin type. I have combination skin that gets shiny in the T-zone, but the perimeter of my face is pretty normal and can get dry sometimes, so that can be a little bit tricky. When I test foundations, I don't do first impressions. I don't only test them for 1 or 2 days. I test them out for several days using different application methods, using no primer as well as various types of primers. Climate is just as important as skin type when we're talking about testing out skin products. So I do like to let you know, I live in a very hot, humid environment the majority of the year. I personally am someone who needs to set my face with powder in order to not get shine breakthrough. You may not have to do that. I do in the environment that I'm in with my T-zone being the way it is. The primers and powders that I normally use when I'm testing out these foundations and everything that I'm talking about in today's video will be listed down below in the drop-down description box. I'm going in no particular order. I'm just reaching and grabbing, and the first foundation I picked up is the KOSAS Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. This retails for $42 for 1 ounce. There are 36 shades. I'm in shade 190, which is described as light, medium, neutral, warm. This is a great match for me. I'm normally light, medium, neutral, warm in foundations. This is a vegan and cruelty-free foundation, and it has SPF 25 in the form of zinc oxide, which I prefer. I always prefer mineral sunscreens to be in foundation, although I prefer no sunscreen because you really have to pile a foundation on to get the appropriate amount of sunscreen. So this has a lot of actives in it to help improve the skin and not just be a foundation. It has niacinamide, caffeine, squalane, arnica, provitamin B5, peptides, and hyaluronic acid. It's supposed to hydrate, brighten, even skin tone, soothe, and plump over time. It's also supposed to soothe and calm your skin and balance your oil and moisture levels and be long wearing. So this has a thin consistency and a light floral scent to it that I don't notice after it's applied. This applies quickly and blends easily no matter what method I use, fingers, a brush, a sponge, but I don't feel a little bit goes a long way. I felt like I kept having to re-dip and apply more and more and more to get it to light medium or the medium coverage that they claim it provides. I would say that this is buildable from light to just under medium coverage. I had to really work to build it up to medium coverage. I'm not a full coverage foundation girl, so that didn't really bother me. If I used a damp sponge, I got it to light medium, and I got it to medium easily with a brush, but I did have to smooth it out with a sponge after. A dry sponge was fine, just to get rid of any little streaks. Now, after this was applied, before I set it, I wouldn't say it feels sticky, but it doesn't really feel fully set down either. If I pressed a finger to my face or touched my face, it would kind of lift off in this part, so I had to be really careful. And it doesn't feel lightweight to me. I can kind of feel it on my face. Now, before I set my makeup, it looks okay. It doesn't really enhance my pores, but it doesn't really conceal them either. Now, once my makeup is finished, immediately after, it looks really, really nice. A few hours in though, after it settles, it seems to start enhancing texture that I just don't ever see. Even when my skin is bare, I don't see this level of texture. This happens no matter what I do. I just am not really happy with it a few hours in, and it just doesn't wear well for me throughout the day. I get shiny and it seems to gather in this little forehead line up here. My issues with this foundation occurred as the day progressed when my natural oils started breaking through, causing it to just not look really good on my skin. But I didn't notice anything around the perimeter of my face. So I think if you live in a less humid environment or if you have normal to dry skin, you may really enjoy this foundation. I just don't think it's ideal for me and my skin type and my environment. We have a few line expansions in today's video, and this is one of them. This is the Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Light Revealer Natural Skin Illuminator with Broad Spectrum SPF 25. That was a mouthful. So this is $48 for 1.7 ounces, so you get a lot of product for your money. There are 14 shades. They are supposed to span across skin tones. I am in shade Sand, which is a little bit deep for me now, but I think in the dead of summer, this is going to be just fine. So this one has radiant pearls that are selected for each shade to help create the look of radiant, smooth skin. And don't we all want that? This is supposed to give sheer natural coverage for a no makeup look. To protect the skin against the environment, this has an antioxidant complex along with a chemical sunscreen. It is SPF 25. I'm not a fan of chemical sunscreen in anything because my skin is very sensitive. A lot of times it makes me break out. We will discuss that a little further into this review. This also has French algae, which helps with the skin's natural radiance, and it has some plant-based hydration, which helps with moisture retention. This has a medium thick consistency and a very, very faint, in my opinion, sunscreen scent. I don't really notice it that much, and I definitely don't notice it after it's applied. Even though it has a thick consistency, it applies and blends out very easily. I prefer to use my fingers or a brush. And I would say that this has sheer to sheer light coverage that's meant to just even out your skin tone. If you want more coverage, you can spot conceal, but this is meant to just help improve your skin's natural appearance. Before setting my face, I felt like this looked natural and flattering on my skin and gave me a natural radiance, and my pores looked natural. It didn't enhance my pores, it didn't super smooth my pores, they just looked better than usual, I guess. After setting it, it gives me a natural, good skin look, which is what it's intended to do. It just looks like my skin, but better. It's not too dewy or radiant for my shiny areas. I thought it would be. I prefer to wear this without a primer. I just find because of the sheerness of it and the skin benefiting ingredients, it works well. I don't get too shiny with it even without a primer, so it's fine that way. It's smoothing and it's flattering, and also surprisingly, the coverage lasts. Sometimes with radiant products that are sheer, I find they can wear away quickly in certain areas, and this one didn't. However, because of the chemical sunscreen, I can't wear this too many days in a row. I can wear it maybe twice in a row, and then I need to give my skin a break because my rosacea areas will start to flare up. So that's my drawback for this. If you have sensitive skin, you may want to patch test or just give your skin a break like I do. If you're someone who wants very sheer skin evening coverage, your skin but better, a natural no makeup look, this could be a great product for you. I think no matter what your skin type is. I wasn't expecting to like it, but I do, with some limitations. Let's talk about another line extension, this time from Givenchy. This is the Prisme Libre Skin Caring Matte Foundation. This is $49 for 1 ounce. There are 35 shades. I am in shade 3-W245. This is infused with 82% skincare and is supposed to last for up to 24 hours and be lightweight, hydrating, and blur your skin while giving you natural medium coverage. It's also comprised of 97% natural ingredients, if that's something that's important to you. It comes in this beautiful square glass pump bottle, as it should. This foundation has a somewhat thick consistency that blends out and applies very quickly and easily using whatever method I choose. Now, I'm not usually someone that does use my fingers to apply a regular type of foundation like this. I usually reserve that for skin tints, BB creams, CC creams, tinted moisturizers. So when I was testing out this foundation, I preferred using a brush or a sponge. I do notice a light fragrance to this right when I apply it. I don't notice it after it's applied. That's kind of typical for most luxury foundations. It's not overwhelming to my nose anyway. I want to apologize for the dim lighting in some of these application and close-up clips. When I was testing some of these foundations, it was really stormy and rainy, and I had to work with what I had. So I agree with the claim. I can build this up to medium coverage and it feels really lightweight and is smoothing and flattering on my skin. It gives a very soft, natural matte finish. I always get excited when I think I'm going to find a really good daily wear matte foundation, especially especially one that gives medium coverage that I could maybe wear in the summer. And I will say that the coverage of this lasted me through the night, even in my T-zone, which got very shiny, which surprised me. So the coverage lasted, as the claim said, even on very long days. But no matter what primer I used, I got shiny in my T-zone, which is so weird from a matte foundation, a foundation that has matte in the name. And it happened without primer, with various mattifying primers. I even decided to try hydrating primers to see if maybe that would work, like a negative and a positive. I don't know. I was trying everything to see if I could get this to work to where I would not become a grease ball by the end of the day. And unfortunately, this just did not work for me and my T-zone in my climate. I talked to another YouTuber friend of mine who had the same experience and is not in as humid of an environment as I am. So, at least I'm not alone, but I really wanted this to work. And unfortunately, it just is not the foundation for me, at least not all day. For a few hours it is, but I have other matte foundations I'm going to reach for over this. I think if you have normal to dry skin, which is weird, this matte foundation might really work for you because it looked really, really beautiful for a few hours. I don't know why I feel like this is such a random foundation roundup. Okay, so let's talk drugstore. I have here the L'Oreal Age Perfect 4-in-1 Tinted Balm that everyone seems to be talking about. I did find it in stock for you. I think all the shades were in stock. I have it linked down below in the drop-down description box. This retails for roughly $11 for 0.63 ounces. There are 8 shades, and the shade that I have is lighter than what I thought I would get, but the shades span across skin tones. So I have light 10. I think in the summer I'm going to need to get the next deeper shade, but this works just fine for now. I just use a little bronzer and help it out. The packaging for this is a nice luxurious experience. It comes in this really nice glass jar, and they describe this as a skincare balm with the coverage of foundation. It's supposed to firm, smooth lines, conceal imperfections, and even skin tone. So the first thing I noticed about this, the very first time I went to apply it, is that there's kind of a layer on top that you need to break through to get to the good stuff underneath. It's just kind of slippery at the top. So, just kind of dig in a little bit. You can apply this with any method you want. Your fingers, a dry sponge, a damp sponge, or a brush, and it applies beautifully. I just found it glides on my skin in this elegant way. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it just is a really nice experience. And I say that having not much success in the foundation balm area. I was really surprised at how nice this was to apply and how it didn't catch on any dry areas I had and just seemed to just meld into my skin. I don't notice any fragrance to this whatsoever. Now, I know they say this gives the coverage of a foundation. I find this to give very sheer skin evening coverage. This is a very sheer tint in balm form, in my opinion. It feels lightweight yet hydrating, just really good on my skin. And I would say the finish is just a natural finish. It's not radiant, it's not matte, it's just a natural skin finish once it's all blended into the skin. And my pores look natural. It doesn't necessarily completely blur them. It doesn't emphasize them. They just look better than normal. This is a Your Skin But Better foundation or skin tint, I guess I'll say. Now with balm products and anti-aging products, I get concerned about shine breakthrough in my T-zone happening very quickly, but a couple of hours in, it still looks really good. Now this for me wears differently on very humid days than on moderately humid and light humid days. What you're seeing is on a very humid day, I got pretty shiny, but on a regular humid day, I get some shine, but it's manageable. I can blot, use a little bit of translucent powder and maintain it a couple times during the day with no problems. And like I said, the coverage stays during the day, that light tint where my skin just stays looking good. This is a really nice product that I wasn't really expecting to like as much as I do because I haven't had much success in the balm department. Now, if you have oily skin, you're probably going to get more shine than you would care for with this. But if you have combination skin and definitely normal or dry skin, and you're wanting a product that is going to just even out your skin more so than it naturally is and give you that no makeup look, that true no makeup look, but be very quick to apply. Maybe you would normally dust on powder foundation, but you want something that is just going to look like your skin, not powdery. This would be a great option. I have been enjoying this so much more than I thought I would. What I have on my face right now is the IT Cosmetics CC Plus Nude Glow Lightweight Foundation plus Glow Serum with SPF 40 and niacinamide. That is another mouthful. So this retails for $42 for 1.1 ounce. There are 22 shades and I'm in shade light medium. This has a 90% skincare base. So it has niacinamide, which brightens skin, smooths texture, helps with dark spots and helps smooth pores. And it also has hyaluronic acid, which helps plump and hydrate skin, and green tea extract to help protect against environmental stressors. With continued use, you're supposed to see brighter skin in roughly 4 weeks, and on a day-to-day basis, it's supposed to color correct, provide medium coverage, along with a brightening glow. Now, the SPF 40 is in chemical form, which I talked about earlier with the Mercier product. This has a slightly runny consistency, and it does have that citrusy smell to me that some IT Cosmetics face products have. The scent in this product is a little bit stronger than the other products I've shared so far in today's video. I don't notice it after it's applied, after all my other makeup is applied, just upon application. It blends out very easily no matter what method I use, fingers, a brush, or a sponge. To get true medium coverage, I really enjoy using a brush and tapping it out with a dry sponge just to get rid of any streaks, or just using a dry sponge in general. Using a damp sponge gives a little bit less coverage, but I still like using a damp sponge with it. Now, even though they say this is a skin tint, I find this is buildable up to medium coverage. So to me, that's a little bit more than just a skin tint. It also feels lightweight. So if you're someone who found the original IT CC cream, or who finds the original IT CC cream to be too heavy or have too much coverage, this might be right up your alley. It looks very natural. It blurs my pores and my skin, yet you can still see some imperfections, which is what good natural skin looks like. A couple of hours in, my natural oils start coming through, but it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look overly greasy. It doesn't have too much glow for my combination skin. Now, in this dark nighttime clip, after about 12 hours, I have some shine. It still looks better than no makeup, which is what it's intended to do. Sometimes with certain foundations, I would have been better off wearing no makeup because foundations just look terrible. Now, even though this has a chemical sunscreen in it, like the Laura Mercier product, I'm able to wear this for more days in a row and get away with it before it starts making my skin react. I've always been that way with IT Cosmetics products, even when they have sunscreens in them. I don't know why that is, but it's very important that you know that they do have chemical sunscreens in them. This is a glowy, radiant product that's not too much for my shine prone areas. It doesn't break down on me and it looks really nice. I think any skin type could really like this, depending on how you are with chemical sunscreens and what type of finish and coverage you enjoy. I feel like this next one is a little bit polarizing. This is the One Size Turn Up the Base Beauty Blur Balm Foundation. It retails for $33 for 1 ounce. There are 18 shades. I'm in the shade Light 3. This was designed to be a one-of-a-kind 3-in-1 product that blurs texture, absorbs oil, and boosts moisture, and is powered by skincare. We have a lot of products out right now that are powered by skincare. This is supposed to look and feel like a second skin, be basically undetectable. It's also vegan and cruelty-free. Now, before I get into the texture and the application, I do want to make a note about the bottle. It's a little bit messy, so if you squeeze product out and then close it back, it sometimes squeezes back out. So you do kind of have to wipe it back off, which is a little bit annoying, but it's manageable. It's just a minor thing to note about the packaging. It looks sleek when it's closed, but you kind of have to work at it to get it there. I don't notice a scent to this product. It has a thick, moussey consistency, which you might think would make it a little difficult to blend out. However, I find this extremely easy and quick to apply. I prefer using no primer with this because it fuses with my skin and basically erases my pores because of how it sinks into my skin when I don't use a primer. It's almost hard to explain. Now, I did try it using various methods. My preferred method is to massage it between my fingers and then just kind of blend it out with my fingers, almost similar to how I would apply a primer. It seems to perfect my skin. When I apply it that way, my pores become basically invisible, erased. It evens out my discoloration and just makes my skin look beautiful, but not like I'm wearing foundation. I would say this builds from medium to almost medium full coverage because of how it blurs and covers all in one. When I first start applying it, it doesn't feel like it's going to be lightweight. You feel it when you're applying it, but after it's applied, that disappears. It feels very lightweight. It's smoothing and flattering and leaves a natural matte finish. This is a great product if I need something mattifying, if I know I'm going to be out and about, but I want to look really natural. If I'm having a moderately long day, not a super long day. If my day starts to get a little lengthy, I do have some breakthrough shine. I was kind of hoping this might be a good replacement for my beloved Holy Grail Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Fluid Powder Foundation that is my all day no makeup foundation that just looks beautiful and wears all day, even in heat and humidity. Some shades of it are being phased out from Sephora. They're on the Bobbi Brown website. I'll have it linked down below so you can see it, and a video where I apply it. This doesn't wear quite as long all day, but it does look really nice while I'm wearing it. What skin types is this good for? I feel like if you have very dry skin, this could catch on some of that. So I would say oily to normal is probably who this is best for. But like I said, this is polarizing. The reviews of this are very mixed. I think a lot of that has to do with application, how it's being applied, how thick people are applying it. If you apply too much, it's not going to sink into the skin and stay on. It probably will slide off. When it's applied correctly, I just think this is such a beautiful product and can be really great for summertime. Now it's time for Caliray Freedreaming Clean Blurring Skin Tint. This retails for $39 for 1 ounce. There are 10 shades that suit a range of skin tones. I'm in the shade the 6. This is a very lightweight skin tint with 94.5% natural origin ingredients and antioxidants that hydrates and blurs to minimize imperfections. It's also vegan and cruelty-free. This has a very natural scent to it that dissipates after application. The texture or the consistency is very, very runny. It blends in quickly and easily using any method. I prefer to use my fingers and apply it almost like a lotion and tap in extra where I feel I need more coverage. I would say this gives very sheer, buildable up to just under light coverage. So this is just going to even out your skin nicely, but it's very diffusing, skin blurring, pore blurring. It's really great with pores. It looks very natural and skin-like and feels extremely lightweight. You can see my natural oils starting to break through around the 4-hour mark, but it still looks really nice and flattering on my skin. I would say around 6, maybe 7 hours is about the max I can get out of this in terms of shine breakthrough and when it starts to break down. I tried to push it to 9 hours a couple of times and it just didn't go well. It never emphasized anything bad on the perimeter of my face though, and held up well on that area. If I have a moderately short day, or if I'm just running some places and I want something that's quick to apply with my fingers and that looks like my skin, this is a good option. Now, I don't think it's probably a great choice for those with oily skin. Of course, that could have something to do with my climate. That is a factor. But I would think if you have combination to dry skin, you could enjoy this too. I was under the impression this might be too matte, but I didn't find that to be the case. I just felt like it gave a really nice natural finish. I'm already testing foundations for my next foundation roundup. Let me know anything you want me to try in the comments down below. Let me know if you've tried any of these, what you think. If you want to see other foundation roundups, I'll have that playlist here for you with all of those videos, and my top foundations playlist will be linked in the description box along with everything I shared in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this and found it helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.